We're live. We're live. Instant reaction. All of the morning games, the mid afternoon games are done with. And now we are waiting for Sunday night football. Storylines. I'll let the people tell me what the storylines are as they start coming in. But Kansas City's 0-2. Cincinnati's 2-0. Indianapolis is 2-0. And Detroit just scored 50 freaking points. I guess those are some of the bigger news. Maybe big surprises if you're looking at it from, I wonder, what was I predicting during the offseason? Cincinnati typically starts off slow, which they technically did. Lost Joe Burrow, didn't matter, still won the game. Let's talk about everything that has transpired in week 2. In the comments below, of course, tell me any games that you want to discuss, any storylines that you gathered from the games that's already transpired, and I'll do my best to get to them suckers, okay? All right. Week 2, instant reaction. I'll go in a little bit of an order because on Wednesday, remember, every Wednesday, 7:40 p.m. Central Time, the People's Debate has our football podcast, okay? Where all the guys hang out and we're all together. We can't discuss all of the games, so I thought it'd be fair to discuss the games that's already happened now. I'll start off from Thursday night football, and that was Green Bay facing Washington. Washington loses 18-27. Green Bay, everything that's coming out of the media, Green Bay fans, the internet, any vlogs, anything like that, is Green Bay's defense is for real. That's the main thing that is coming out of the 2 games that they have played, which I understand it and I get it and I respect it, but I might not agree with it. I think, don't get me wrong, them stopping the run, them, the pass rush getting better, all of that is for real. I want to see them against a team that has a solidified offensive line and maybe a team that actually attacks the secondary, because I still don't believe in the secondary. But Green Bay is 2-0. They look like the winners of the trade early, way too early prediction, early. And the defense does look good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to take away from Green Bay. Washington, on the other side, defense sucks. They're old. They're not deep. Yeah. We'll see on, how the rest of their season pans out. Now, let's get into, I'll start off here. I don't know if this is in order or not, but the New York Football Giants playing the Dallas Cowboys. I'm assuming this game was a big shocker to everybody, including myself. I thought it'd be closer than most people, but I did not think either one of these teams would break 30. Rather, much less 37-40 to be the final score. The Giants, man, Russell Wilson was cooking. And then he kind of cooked the Giants at the end with that interception to nobody. It was in Malik Neighbors' vicinity, but he threw it right to, I believe, the safety. Wilson is the one that caught the interception. And I think that was marvelously stupid. It's not probably a word. I understand that. But still, all right, let me turn that off. I don't like that. All right. Jeez Louise. But the Giants offense looked like they had life. Does that mean anything? I don't know. Or is the Dallas Cowboys defense really just that bad? All I kept hearing was, "Oh man, Philadelphia didn't pass it because they couldn't." Yet Wandale Robinson wide open on many occasions, and Malik Neighbors also. I understand Malik Neighbors is probably of course, but still, I do think Dallas now being 1-1 is good for the fans, good for hope to see how far they can go, how many wins they can get. The Giants going 0-2, but having a very close game should build the confidence for the team. The team shouldn't really beat themselves up, I wouldn't think, but I'm not too sure. The train for the Cowboys still, it could be their year, rolls on. Next game that I want to talk about is the Seattle Seahawks going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the Seattle Seahawks coming in had that poor offensive performance against the San Francisco 49ers, where the running game was basically non existent, and Sam Darnold to JSN was the only thing you really heard the entirety of the game. This game was a bit different. Kenneth Walker got going, especially in the second half. I think the main storyline for here, or the main takeaway, is Seattle outscored Pittsburgh 24-3 in the second half. Hence, Seattle got the running game going in the second half. Pittsburgh offensively just became pretty dull, very predictable. A couple big plays and then legitimately nothing. The pass rush got to Aaron Rodgers multiple times where he had to kind of just throw it into the dirt. He's not as mobile as he used to be. I think everybody can understand that. And yeah, I did like how Seattle came back and started playing in the second half, outscoring Pittsburgh 24-3. Seattle beats Pittsburgh 31-17. And Seattle now 1-1, Pittsburgh 1-1. We'll see. Seattle, Sam Darnold, the interceptions are going to be misleading. You know, one was his fault. The other, I mean, you could make a case. Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers threw a really bad interception in the red zone. That was really bad and really stupid on his part. The defense played better, even though, 31 points. I understand that. I think what really tilted this game was the special team play where Caleb Johnson, there's a new punting like kind of rule where it's a live ball. And honestly, it looked like he touched it. Even if he didn't touch it, that's irrelevant in this situation. So Seattle, the ball bounces into the end zone. He's just looking at the sideline like, I fair catched it, guys. And Seattle scores a touchdown. I think after that, it kind of just went south. I think that was the first indicator that this game is going to be over. Cody, very Arthur Smith-like. Yeah, the offense just became stagnant, predictable, very bland. We'll see how it goes. Seattle, shout out to Seattle Seahawks for winning the game. Pittsburgh got some things to figure out. The Los Angeles Rams against the Tennessee Titans. Another second half, a tale of halves, you can say. The Rams beat the Tennessee Titans 33-19, outscoring them in the second half 23-6. It was a close game, and then it became not so close. Rams started putting it on them. The Titans started being the Titans. And yeah, Rams 2-0, Tennessee 0-2, kind of how I expected it. Broncos sold. Stick around, Brandon. Let's talk about that actually. Buffalo Bills at the New York Jets. I thought this was utterly hilarious because I believe Yeah. So this is one of the bets that hit that I told people to make. Buffalo Bills and the Jets were the over under was at 46 and a half. I said to, oh, actually, never mind. I did not hit that. We didn't hit it. It's 40 points because the freaking, I think I said that too. The Jets were possibly going to be the Jets, and they were, and they scored 10 points. It was 30-3 for the longest. Yeah. So Jets, looks like the Jets do suck. Bills are good. Don't get me wrong, but losing that way, yeah, not a good sign. Buffalo Bills 2-0, Jets 0-2. Shout out to the Bills. They're going to play on Thursday Night Football against the Miami Dolphins. Speaking of the Miami Dolphins, they always beat the New England Patriots at home until 2025. September 14th, 2025, the New England Patriots beat the dang it, Miami Dolphins at home, and panic is now in Miami. The Patriots, Drake May looked good. The running game looked better. The receivers looked better. Our defense, I don't know if it's just because Gonzalez isn't there, but our secondary is not really playing well. It's not. It truly is not. So we'll see. We'll see about that. You know what? Let's skip a game and let's go to this game because I got two questions on it. Brandon, I said Pat Surtain was better than Storm Duck. Foolish me. That's funny. He is, though. So are the Colts offense that good or Broncos defense just not that great? Well, we have to go off of what we know to be true through two games. We can go a little bit off of last year. And if you sprinkle that in from offseason, the Broncos defense both defenses play fine to an extent. The offenses, Bo Nix for 3.5 quarters, was cooking. He was doing very well. The running attack wasn't doing so well. When it comes to the Colts, all I said this offseason was Daniel Jones, what he is good at is the underneath stuff. Now he's becoming very good at the over the top stuff, but I'll leave that alone. Underneath stuff, they have playmakers galore. Alec Pierce, Josh Downs, Michael Pittman Jr., and then, of course, Jonathan freaking Taylor. Jonathan Taylor, like I've been saying all offseason, when we look at a Daniel Jones team, what team Daniel Jones was a part of that made a playoff run and won a playoff game, they had a great running back, and they just allowed him to kind of cook where he need to, but the main offensive component is the running back. Same thing with this. The Colts offense is good, brother. I get it. You don't want to be wrong. All of the guys on the People's Debate panel and further really had the Colts winning like 5-6 games. It's early. I'm not going to gloat yet. I did this last year. Not going to do that. There's context to what happened last year with the Saints, but nonetheless, the way this offense looks, the offensive line is good. It's not even elite like it used to be, but it's good. It's the best offensive line Daniel Jones has ever been behind, underneath, whatever you want to say. And the amount of weapons running, especially guys that are so good after the catch, he's never had this before. So this offense is that good. They made Pat Surtain. Anytime they beat Pat Surtain, they went underneath or they had him moving where it looked like a pick play. Surtain would read that and he would go, he would move away from the pick play. But then again, the underneath route is available and it's open. And that's what beat him a lot of the routes that he allowed a reception. If it was to Tyler Warren, Alec Pierce, the Alec Pierce one was just beautiful. So Colts and Broncos. Well, let me just actually go into these comments really quick. Daniel Jones becoming a Tyler Warren merchant. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what he's becoming. Truth is, Colts haven't played great defense yet. Broncos definitely was getting overrated. Defense was getting overrated. I disagree. Haven't played a great defense yet. Everybody said that the Broncos are going to have a top 5, top 6, top 7 defense. Just because a team beats them and plays well doesn't mean that that defense is now on fraud check. Just saying. Could be, but I wouldn't just lean towards that just because the presupposition that everybody had for the Colts, they were going to suck on offense. What if that's just not right? This Daniel Jones is going to collapse. Sure. You could keep saying that, brother. Sure. Texans' #1 defense definitely still on the table. We'll see. We will see. They played good week 1. I think the Rams just let off on them because Matthew Stafford had a pretty good game. #1 wide receiver had a pretty good game. But I'm not trying to slander the freaking Texans, all right? They're going to play tomorrow. We'll see on how that goes. But the Colts are 2-0. The Broncos are 1-1. Both teams had penalty issues that really screwed both teams over. So the defenses, I think, played well. It's just the penalties allowed the teams to get automatic first downs, go further down the field just based off of the penalty. And that's not going to be good. That's not going to be good. Let's just say that. On my bets and predictions for the Denver Broncos and Colts game, I said it was going to be a close game. People laughed at me. I said the Broncos are going to win, though. But I said I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm not confident that the Broncos will win. Just because I also said whatever team makes the first mistake or whoever has the most turnovers, that team's going to lose. And guess who had the interception? Can't bite them. First year on the team, 2 interceptions, 2 games. Bo Nix threw an interception. And so they lost the game. They lost the game. And Nakua and Adams were going crazy. Yep. Jonathan Taylor had overall scrimmage yards. Yeah. He had like 50 or 60 receiving yards. Adding that on to the rushing yards. Boom. That's that. Are you feeling a slight Penix upset? I don't know, man. It's a good question. I don't know. I said it on the prediction portion of it. If the Vikings are the team that played in the fourth quarter against Chicago, then the Vikings are going to win this game. But if that was just a momentum thing and the Bears actually, kind of really lost the game and gave too many chances, then it could be. Michael Penix looked good his first game. He did. But I think the Vikings' pressure and blitz strategy is much different than Tampa Bay's. But on the flip side, Bijan couldn't get going running the ball. I don't think he'll get going running the ball on Minnesota either. Now, secondaries, I don't like Tampa Bay secondary. Obviously, the Falcons played Tampa Bay last week. But like I've been saying, the Vikings defense is good, but they do have Jeff Okudah as a starting corner. That is a red flag. So if Michael Penix cooks, I would not be surprised. I 100% would not be surprised. Yep, Vikings can't get to a slow start like that again. I agree. That's not gonna work in their favor this time. I think Atlanta's much more competent and much more well built to hold a lead than a first-year head coach and a guy that's trying to have different play from last year and Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears offense. Okay, so after that game, let's talk about Jacksonville at Cincinnati. Cincinnati's 2-0. They're 2-0. As ugly as it is, they are 2-0. And even though that they're probably going to get pressed by media, they're going to get, oh, what is going on? Oh, man, Joe Burrow. Blah, 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 blah. The whole narrative was, man, who cares about Joe Burrow's stats? This was last year. Who cares about Joe Burrow's stats? He can't lead this team to the playoffs. This team always starts off slow. Now the team is 2-0. And yes, the play's not great, but they're 2-0. So pick a side. Let's be consistent. Everybody that wants to hate on the Bengals. I don't think I'm one of them, but I don't have the Bengals making the playoffs. And if Joe Burrow, something's up with Joe Burrow, I think I'm going to be right. We'll see. Jacksonville honestly lost the game. They had the opportunity to freaking get a first down or score. And unfortunately, for my fantasy team, Brian Thomas Jr. had about 13 targets and caught like 4 of them. And at the end of that game, he dropped a key reception that was perfectly placed by Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence didn't have a great game, but he put the ball in places that it should have been caught. And I'm talking about Brian Thomas Jr. and another receiver, number 8, I think. The funny thing is, the 2 stars on the team, really, other than Trevor Lawrence, Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter, in my opinion, cost the Jaguars, the Jangles. That's hilarious. The Jaguars the game. Bengals, you got to give a shout out to the backup quarterback. You got to give a shout out to the offense as a whole for not giving up, the defense for not giving up. But the Jaguars, you know that there's that disgusting, stupid, total nuance question of who did this team win the game or did this team lose the game? And in this case, I would say that the Jacksonville Jaguars lost this game. And they screwed me for my locks and dogs. I thought they'd cover the 3. I was right there, 3.5. They lost by 4. So maybe that's why I'm a little bit more pissed. Could be. So be honest, how nervous were you for another Miami? Oh, totally nervous, dude. Again, our secondary, it's not that good. It's not. Gonzalez needs to come back. We need him. We 100% need him. Carlton Davis took a knee. I said, no way, dude. we can't do this without you. You got to get up, please. Yeah, it got very close, and I was very nervous. But shout out to the Patriots for now we're 1-1. Chris Long was making fun of the Bengals because they don't own a cart to drive their injured quarterbacks. And oh, that's funny. If that's true, Brandon, that's pretty hilarious. They're so cheap, aren't they? Let's get away from that. Okay. San Francisco, New Orleans. San Francisco are 2-0. San Francisco 49ers 2-0. With Mac Jones at the quarterback right now. It is against New Orleans, so I'm not going to say return of the Mac or the Mac is back or Big Mac or nothing like that. But the Patriots won. Not the Patriots. Dang it. I am lost. The 49ers won, and they are 2-0, where everything that could go wrong for their first 2 games did, and they're still 2-0. So, shout out to the 49ers. That's a great win. New Orleans, y'all suck. All right. Cleveland, Baltimore. Cleveland sucks. Baltimore did what they were supposed to do. NFC West, 7 out of 8 wins after week 2. Yeah, you're right. Nice. I didn't get to see that game. Oh, yeah, man. I didn't put it on. I turned that off. Yeah, 100%. A game I totally misread. Chicago Bears losing to the Detroit Lions 21-52. Jared Goff, another 5-touchdown performance. Damn it. Oh, man. The thing is, Chicago's defense was looking good for a while. I don't know what to think. I do not know what to think. But Chicago's 0-2. They honestly, game 1, you know how they were that close and then lost a dagger to the heart from Minnesota at the end, right? That adding on with a blowout loss against a team that had your head coach as the offensive coordinator, I mean, a blowout loss, 52 points given. That locker room has to believe in Ben, or this is going to go south very quickly. We'll see. I'm not even saying Detroit's back, but Detroit looked very good. Amon St. Brown looked great. Gibbs looked great. Monty looked great. Laporte looked great. Jared Goff looked great. Even under pressure, he looked good. So, shout out to Detroit. 1-1. Chicago is 0-2. Yep, Chicago is done. Yeah, possibly. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We already went over Denver, Indianapolis, Carolina at Arizona. I will say this. I was watching this game for a little bit, and I heard the analysis team or the color commentators speak on, oh man, Arizona is a dark horse. Arizona is this. Arizona is that. They played the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. And they allowed Carolina to have a good second half. Don't get me wrong. They're 2-0. But I'm not confident watching Arizona play a playoff worthy team. I'm not confident at all yet. So I can't wait to see it. But nonetheless, Arizona is 2-0. Carolina sucks. I said, a couple people said Carolina they might be this, they might be that. They're not, dude. Their defense is not good. Bryce Young takes too long to process anything. Yeah. So just a good fourth quarter. Still. Rice is cooked. At least they started scoring at the end of the game. Yeah, correct. All right. Philadelphia, Kansas City. Super Bowl rematch. And the Philadelphia Eagles win. Kansas City is 0-2. What is next for Kansas City? Does this not matter? Because I bet you that's what's going to be the whole thing when it comes to media this upcoming Monday. You got to give them the benefit of the doubt. I understand that. I do understand that. However, their offense doesn't look good. I'm not willing to say that Philly's defense was just great. It wasn't. It wasn't. I think Philly's offense did what they had to do. Jalen Hurts didn't look great by all means. I understand that. But they did what they had to do. When they were up, they just said, we're not going to make mistakes. We're going to keep this lead. The Chiefs aren't doing anything on offense. The funny thing is, one of the main reasons they lost was that interception in the end zone to Travis Kelce. They're going to put that on Pat Mahomes, but that's Travis Kelce's fault. The guy that's supposedly better than Gronk. Whoa. Pat McAfee is about to be unbearable. Yep, sure are. Sure is. Guys, when it comes to the Colts, you guys got to... I'm not saying join the hype train. And I'm going to chill because I've done this already. So I have to wait another week. I have to wait another week. It has to be 3 games, and then I can talk because of what happened last year with the Saints and my take. But the beautiful thing with hot takes, some of them land. And all the reasoning that I used for the Colts landing right now. We'll see, though. We'll see. Chiefs already have as many losses as they had last season. Yep. And when the prediction video that's up, of course, People's Debate, you go on our catalog, you'll see the playoff prediction Super Bowl winner, but I think it's just a playoff prediction video. Watch it, like it, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe. I have the Chiefs having the least amount of wins out of all of us. I think I had them 10 wins or 11. I forgot which one. I think 10. I laughed at. It's like, oh, they won 15 games and they got better. But that's not how the NFL works. Everybody understands that. Everybody understands that. To be fair, this is your second season in a row taking a swing at the Colts. Yes, it is. So remember last year, though, Cody, if you want to be honest here, my main concern was they did nothing for the secondary. And that became a problem. So, yeah. Yes. And they won 8 games. 2 of the games against y'all were, I think, won by 2 points, something like that. So also give me some grace. Yes, I had them doing something last year, but I wasn't nearly as confident. I didn't have a whole spill that I had this offseason because they fixed everything. I didn't like Gus Bradley, really, and that he's no longer there. So we'll see. We will see. And, I could be a little early. It happens. I could see the ingredients being cooked. But last year, again, to be fair, yes, I did have the Colts winning the division. And then also, I was aware of the limitations of the secondary. All right, game's about to start, fellas. Chi-Town, if you want to join real quick, by all means, bro. This game starts, we're off air. Yeah, week two. Week two was a lot of second half winners, a lot of close games, and some teams that are now 2-0 that most people were not believing that could be the case. And one team that's 0-2 that nobody thought that would be the case. Except, hold on. Let me bring the evidence out. And I don't get all these right. I understand that. Except me. This is my Kansas City. You see those first 3 games. I have them starting 0-3. Now they're probably going to beat the Giants this upcoming week, next week. But nobody had them going 0-2 at least. And that's on wax. I did that months ago. Like 2 months ago. Still making the playoffs. Still probably making noise in the playoffs. But, yeah. I think the biggest surprise is the Indianapolis Colts. Possibly Cincinnati winning without Joe Burrow. And the Giants scoring as many points as they did, making it such a good game with the Dallas Cowboys. But yeah, y'all tell me. Bringing in the man. Wait, what the heck? I don't like this. Hold on. Let me make us the even. What up, Chi-Town?
What's going on?
What's your take on week 2 instant reaction? We can't look up stats and look up this and look up that, but we watched it. What did you get from it?
The way the Jags played, honestly, that game kind of really intrigued me. The sideline thing, I think we got pushed way out of proportion with Liam and Trevor.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, that's blown out of proportion, like way out of media's trying to make something out of nothing.
That's how media rolls. That's the new journalism. But other than that, what did you get out of that specific game? Because I thought Jacksonville. I agree. I thought I got a lot of good from Jacksonville, but a lot of bad because of they don't have Joe Burrow, and all you have to do they could have iced the game, and your main guys are with Travis Hunter getting the penalty on defense after Brian Thomas Jr. drops a easy layup for a first down to really kill that game.
Yeah, I mean the way um, Travis Hunter was playing. I think he played. I think he played pretty good. He didn't.
Offensively?
I think even that penalty. I don't think that penalty was even. He I think that was good ball coverage. It's just
Mm-hmm.
that's a little flaky a PI if you ask me. But I'm also a
Okay.
defensive guy.
Okay.
Like he
That's
had
fair.
inside position. He turned his head around. That's how you teach. That's how you teach corners to play. I mean,
That's true. That's
so
fair.
people are already like doubting Trevor at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I was more on the offensive with Lawrence, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean he's been stepping up these past 2 weeks, and that kind of shocked me. And then your Colts, man, your Colts, they look. I mean, me and you both. I didn't say Danny Jones
No,
was
yeah, you to be fair, you were one
yeah
of the few, not to say you were wowed by my record prediction, but you did say Daniel Jones is decent. So
yeah.
I'll give you
I
that.
don't
I'll give you
I
that.
don't think he's a terrible quarterback. I really
He's
don't.
not. He's
You know,
he's a under 20 yards. He's good. He's
yeah,
accurate. You know,
yeah.
that's
and
it.
and uh the way the Colts like look on the sideline, they they they're rallying around him, and that's their
Yes.
guy. And
Yes,
that's
sir.
that's when you have a team like that that's like coming out of the waters where nobody's expecting them to win these kind of games, and having a quarterback like that, that's a good sign when everybody's rallying behind that kind of QB where everybody's doubting them.
Mhm.
So I mean, that division starting to look kind of scary if you're a Houston Texans fan,
You're right.
because so many unknown answers for that Texans. My friends, they're from Houston, and I just saw them at the gym this morning, and they were kind of hoping that Monday game at least stays competitive.
Hmm.
So I don't know. 0-2, when you are a playoff team, you start 0-2. It's pretty hard to
Yeah.
dig yourself out of that hole. And another 0-2 team that just start is the Kansas City Chiefs. So there's a lot of 0-2 teams that I didn't expect to start 0-2.
Yeah. Kansas City Chiefs is one. Let's the AFC South, how you brought up Jacksonville, they're 1-1. The Colts are 2-0. Houston, they're playing Tampa Bay. That's not a gimme win at
Yeah,
all. So we'll see on how that goes. Yeah, we'll see. AFC South now is looking a little spicy. Huh?
and Tennessee's not
No,
too bad either.
no, they're pretty bad. I told you. I told you they
I
were
don't think
bad.
so. Their defense is still pretty solid. I think
It's
they'll give
decent.
Houston. I think Houston they'll give Houston a run for their money.
Yeah, we'll see. Tennessee this week through two quarters looked decent, and then
Yeah,
the last half looked not good. So, but and you could be right. You can be right on the defense actually being solid. But my whole argument is the team as a whole is going to suck because the coaching sucks. The defensive coordinator, I'm not a fan of. All of that mixed into one. You could have good pieces on paper,
yeah.
but you suck. And that's what I think of the Tennessee Titans. Real quick, let's go over this and then we'll get out because the game has started.
Yeah.
Saints look dominant after 2 weeks last year. Will the Colts see the same turnaround? That's what everybody's giving me flack for because last year, Chi-Town, I know Jose said it on y'all's channel that I said the Saints were going to be this, this, this. And through 2 weeks, like right now, Milton Wynn looked like a freaking genius. How did he call it? But to be fair, yeah, that's why I'm not gloating about the Colts yet because I have to wait. I'm gonna wait for 3 games. I'll wait for 3 games this time. Through 3 weeks, I'm gonna talk and nobody can say anything to me. The Saints, though, to be fair, they started falling off when offensive linemen started getting hurt. Then the scheme didn't work. Kubiak's scheme didn't work, and then Derek Carr got hurt. So to be fair, like there was a lot of things that happened for that team to start really sucking. Just
And
saying.
I don't know why people. I don't know what it is, man. They don't really pay attention to the football aspect. Uh, Carr wasn't a bad quarterback. He really wasn't. He's also. I mean, I'm not gonna put him in the Danny Dimes because I think he's better than him.
Nah, he was better. Yeah, yeah.
But Yeah, I don't know, man. I think they just watch the game through highlight reel, like the highlight reels that they show,
Yeah.
and they really and their the stats don't really tell how. If you watch the game, the stats don't really tell.
If you watch the game again, with stats mean something. Yes, I agree. But there's context to
Yes.
some stats. And if you don't get the context with the stats, your argument is going to most likely fail if somebody watched the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So stats mean something. Everyone knows I'm a stat guy, but there's context with the stats.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, we got Sunday Night Football playing right now, Minnesota, Atlanta. Before I let you go, before I end the stream, who you got?
I got the Falcons. I think the Falcons are a team that can make some noise in the AFC South and give.
NFC.
Yes, NFC South.
I got you.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. At least their money's worth for that division.
They could. I'm torn with not knowing how this Vikings team is. Is it the fourth quarter Vikings? Then they're going to win, right? But
Yeah.
that's probably not the entirety of the whole story. But I have the Vikings winning, but I'm not opposed to Atlanta going 1-1 and Minnesota going 1-1.
The one thing though to have, like, if you're gonna have a young QB like JJ, it's also really good to have one of the best defensive coordinators right behind your back pocket. You know, you're allowed to make some mistakes, right, and have the defense, you know, back you up. So if they can continue to do that, JJ gets better. You know, the Vikings. I have the Vikings winning the division. So,
likewise. So we went over it. Yeah, we went over it. We agree on that one. But thanks for joining, brother. Everybody that's watching or watches this back, make sure Wednesday, 7:40 p.m. Central Time, we're going to have our live, of course, football podcast. Make sure you join, like, subscribe, and yeah, we're out. Watch some Sunday Night Football.
All right, man.
Later, Chi-Town.